All right, and we are back with Walking Dead Retro Reviews to discuss Season 1, Episode 5. It's called Wildfire. I'm Justin.
I'm Bidets. I thought when you paused, I was like, I'm Jessi.
That's Jessi.
I'm the second name in the title card.
You and Jessi will have to fight for that title.
He can have it.
Good, because I'm a scrapper.
Jessi, don't.
I will scrap for second.
Goonies never say die, Jessi. You took that. You took that L way too quick.
I scrap for sloppy seconds.
I don't want to know about your gangbang experience, Matt.
Dang.
Anyways, so we're here to talk about Episode 5. It's called Wildfire, and this one starts out with Rick having a conversation with Morgan. Well, it's really a one-way conversation because Morgan's not responding, but Rick's.
Yeah.
And one thing I picked up on that I don't think I picked up on before ever, and I've seen that episode about 1,000 times, but Rick's, it seems almost like Rick's wanting to go to the CDC is inspired by Morgan. Like, it's not so much like just Rick's idea. It was like Morgan's idea, and that's why Rick wants to go that way, and that's why he's telling at the beginning, like, I need you to be right about this. Because, people are doubting him, like Shane's giving him a hard time, and some people are thinking that the CDC is not the way to go. And, I never really noticed that before.
What do you think? Was it the way to go?
It really just depends on your outlook. I mean, it certainly sets in motion a whole lot of different things. What did you think of the episode, Jessi? Being I know that Matt and I have seen it before. What did you think of it?
I loved it. I was really into it, and I wanted to keep watching more episodes. I always want to keep watching, but for some reason I just can't. So.
Well, and it's good because if you got too many episodes ahead, then we'd be trying to discuss Episode 5. Like, I only watch them one at a time so that I know how to stay on that episode. So, I know where it started. I know where it ended, and that way I don't have to. I won't accidentally start talking about what happens. So it happens in Episode 6 or anything like that. But what did you think of the Andrea? And even though I don't really like Andrea, I thought that the scenes with her and Amy were really, I thought they were pretty good considering how much I don't like her.
It was crazy because I literally was sitting there thinking about how stupid she was that she, like, why are you sitting here with your dead sister for this long? And then I thought when her sister started like coming back to life, being a zombie or whatever, I was like, oh, you really think she's alive? You are so stupid. And I was sitting there just like shaming her. And then I realized she knew, and that's why she was waiting. She was waiting for that moment so she could tell her what she needed to tell her and then do her in,
And what you're going to find, and again, I'm trying not to talk too forward, but it is a retro review, is that Andrea handles her sister as a zombie, no problem. But then you'll find in next season, like, it's like zombies are just, one zombie is too much for her. It's just like, she just doesn't know how to handle it. Whereas with her sister, I mean, that was a fresh zombie. And she just like was holding her in place all sweet and stuff and boom, killed her. But then
I love you.
I love you. Now, Matt, you were
I can't say that I'm surprised.
Matt, you were telling me before Jessi joined in that this episode really wasn't one of your favorites. You weren't as fond of it.
I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me, like compared to the themes of other episodes. It just felt off.
Yeah, well,
the CDC part's the part I didn't like.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Next episode is it's a hit, and next episode for me is like a love-hate thing because I do like it, but I never really enjoy going back and watching it. If that makes any sense.
I'm not fond of coming back to this episode.
But
these next two in particular.
But once we get past that, we get into my favorite season.
Then it's some smooth sailing.
Well, if not my favorite season, certainly, one of my favorite seasons. I absolutely love season 2, so I'm stoked.
It's got some bangers.
Jessi,
I'm almost there.
What did you think about Jim? Wasn't that sad?
That was sad. And I also didn't understand why he would want to be left there and not killed.
I thought, when I remember the first time I saw that episode, when Daryl kind of stayed behind everybody, you know, like everybody told him goodbye and Daryl was the last one to go. I thought Daryl was going to like silently pop an arrow in his head for him. Like that's what Jim wanted. But
so it's funny that you say that, because in my TikTok where I was doing a reaction video to that episode, I literally said, I'm surprised Daryl didn't say, or no, I can't remember what I said. You want me to shoot you? Like, I think I said something like that. I thought the same thing. I thought he was going to kill him.
Yeah, I thought
that's what I want.
Go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, that's what I want. Like, when the apocalypse does happen, I want you to say, like, Matt, you want me to shoot you? I'll be like, hell yes, Justin.
You haven't even been bit yet, Matt.
Yes.
I'll shoot you in the kneecap.
Matt, we're safe.
I'm not doing this.
And we find once again Rick's pointing his gun at Daryl's head. Happened several times this season.
Boy.
I did like the Dale scene, though, where Dale was saying, like, I never thought I'd agree with Daryl, and then they cut him off. But, like, what he was going to say, because when I first watched that episode, I thought that was stupid, because I was like, no, Dale, it sounded exactly like you were saying we should do what Daryl is saying and kill him. But what Daryl had said before that was the crucial point, because Daryl was like, you know, he was like, would you want that if that was you? And Daryl was like, hell yeah, I'd thank you while you did it. That's the part that Dale was saying he agreed with Daryl on, was asking, you know, seeing what does the Jim want us to do? Maybe he does want us to kill him. Maybe, you know, let's see what he wants to do, as in that's what Daryl said he would want.
But also, isn't he going to turn into a zombie, though?
He is. They possibly killed people by leaving Jim there to turn without being put down.
Exactly. So that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe they were thinking like, what's one more, you know?
Like, you know, but it was real sad. One thing I always cracks me up, though, is like bad reactions in movies and shows. And, you know, like Dale, I swear to God, that was a splice they put in from some other dialogue. Because Dale, you know, comes up and he gives that sweet old man Dale smile, kind of like saying goodbye. And he's like, thanks for fighting for our group, you know, and him and Jim were pretty close. So you think Jim would be like something sweet, and it flashes back to Jim and he's like, okay.
I know. I thought that was like not great.
you couldn't.
Okay. But Dale felt bad.
You couldn't be like,
all right, buddy.
It was my
what
honor.
What the hell, Dale?
I'm going to miss you, you know, something. No, just okay.
Okay.
You got it.
Rick's like, do you want this? With the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get where the sentiment.
I'd be like, unload on me, daddy.
So we know when the zombie apocalypse happens, Matt's going to be one of the first casualties of all of our friends.
Just unload on me, daddy. Just do it.
Are you going to make it sound as kinky when you do it? Like, oh, daddy, unload on me. As I'm pointing the gun at you, be like, Matt, I really can't. I can't focus with you talking like that.
Comedy till the end.
Oh, I was about to say something gross.
What he would have wanted.
Oh, but man, Jessi, you are almost through season 1 of The Walking Dead.
Yes,
can you believe it?
I'm like halfway into episode 6 too, and I'm upset that I'm only halfway in. I had to stop watching it, and I was really into it.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's something you're gonna there's a pay attention, because you won't find out what it is until later, but there is a revelation in this episode that you don't find out exactly what it is until a little ways later, but you'll probably know what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about when it happens, because you're gonna be like, what was that?
What the whack?
So let me ask y'all, if you were in that group and you had Shane saying, let's go to Fort Benning, which is a heavily armed military compound where there probably would be lots of military muscle if you're lucky and you get there and it hasn't fallen? Or would you want to follow Rick and go to the CDC, and why? Matt, let's start with you.
Well, I don't know if I have much faith in the CDC for having a cure. I would go to the military installation.
So you'd go to Fort Benning. Jessi, what about you?
Yes.
That's hard to say because of all the military people we've seen so far, they've been taken out like pretty easily, which I don't understand. But
well, they got the guns and the training.
Know.
What are they doing?
See, that's what I always thought about the Walking Dead's zombie virus, or Wildfire as the virus is called in the Walking Dead world. But, like in Resident Evil, it made sense because the virus got into the water supply of Raccoon City. And so people were bathing in it and drinking it. And, it took a little while, but then that's why so many zombies came out of nowhere. Because it had been festering for a little while and then it all hit. So it made, it made more sense as to like, well, if you can shoot zombies in the head, so that always was a good, what I thought was a good explanation for how the town got overrun with zombies. But if this virus is only spread through like bites, which it's actually, you know what, I'm not going to say anymore because that is kind of a spoiler for later. So never mind. For those that have already,
spoil it for me. For
those that have already seen it up to this point, yes, I just worked it out in my head. So never mind. But anyways,
I want a zombie infection that's transmitted sexually.
What?
So Jessi, CDC or Fort Benning, excuse me.
Yeah, I would probably want to go to the military place.
I probably would if I had seen what Dale had saw. I was going, and that's the next point I want to ask you about. But if I had seen what Dale saw and Shane pointing his gun at Rick, I don't think I would have followed anything Shane said.
I don't think I followed anything Shane says anyway.
What did you think about that scene?
Colors.
I don't really remember that.
Where they're in the woods doing a sweep. I mean, I thought it was a good scene because, Rick's
yes.
like, if it was your family,
sorry.
you'd understand. Because I was thinking, like, damn, that's a low blow. Like, they were Shane's family for a while, and Shane has done everything he could to protect them. But,
but
they have that confrontation.
Shane's a big old douchebag, and I am convinced, only really cares about himself.
Oh, so, is that right, Stepdaddy Rick?
What?
Matt, she said what?
I'm just making dumb commentary.
Well, anyway, so when he was pointing the gun at Rick, when Shane was pointing the gun at Rick in the woods, I was freaking out. I was like, "What are you doing?" I was talking to the TV. I'm not even gonna lie.
Man,
boom! He kills Rick and the show's over.
I was gonna say the show would be so much different if he'd have just pulled the trigger.
But Dale knew what was up. Dale's on to Shane.
Dale hit him with that.
Reason.
He hit him with that Dale face.
Yeah, he did.
He was giving him that.
He did.
That
pierces your soul.
That's the way
if Dale was sad, I would be sad.
That's the way I imagine Dale stares into Rick and Lori's tent at night, making that face.
Gross. Gross.
Unshowered apocalypse tent whoopee time.
Blech.
Stinks nice and good.
I was gonna say, I bet that tent smells like hot garbage.
Gross. Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean,
it's hot. It's all hot in there too.
Yeah, they're in Georgia. I mean, like our humidity's bad, but as you go down to like Georgia and on down, that humidity gets worse and worse. I mean, they would just be. You know how bad the humidity is here. Imagine a hot summer of like no showers for a few days, and then there's whoopee happening in a tent. It would just be like, God.
I don't want that.
I bet the whole camp would be like, what the hell is that smell? Oh, somebody's...
Hey, maybe... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I said it's just like, oh, somebody's doing it again.
Maybe that smell will keep the zombies away.
Maybe they think the smell is a zombie, like somebody's humping in a tent and everybody's like, walkers!
Yeah.
No,
Guys, it's just us.
No,
We
guys.
got the urge.
We got the urge to splurge.
I'd be wanting to raid a grocery mart like
That's something that is really important. People don't think about in an apocalypse, though. Like, humans need to bathe. Like, not even just for this, trying to smell good, but like, we have to. Other animals clean themselves by like licking themselves. They do things to keep themselves
just lick
clean.
us then, Justin.
And we're not at that point as a species. So we would have to like bathe. So everybody's running. Just first thought is food. I'd be like, grab a couple of bars of soap while you're there.
That's what I was saying. Like, go to the hygiene aisle, like get a cart of that shit.
Oh yeah, get some toothpaste or mouthwash at least. I mean, something. We got to stay hygienic if we're gonna repopulate the earth. Damn.
I wonder if they were bathing in the quarry.
I mean, that water looked pretty clean, so I wouldn't mind bathing in it.
It did look really magical.
Like, I want to go swim in it. It was a sweet-looking rock quarry, which was apparently right outside the city of Atlanta, because you could see Atlanta from it.
We have one of those here.
Where?
I'm not sure, but I went up in a plane, like a little plane, and I saw it, and I was like, dude, that is so magical.
Matt and I have been to a trail called St. Mary's that it's not nearly as big as that rock quarry, but there is, springs of water there that are just as clear and blue
Very
as that
clear,
rock
yeah.
quarry. Oh, yeah, you can see right through it.
Go.
We've been a couple times. Brad and I went back in the summer and tried to go swimming in it in the middle of July. It was super hot, and I'm not kidding you. That is the coldest water I've ever been in my entire life. Like,
try it in March.
Water is really cold.
Then get back to me.
You go in, and when you come back up, your diaphragm is locked up. You can't even like go, woo! I come up and I'm trying to like make a noise, and it's like,
you're just trying to live.
I sounded like a walker.
Trying to not die.
I've had somebody up there.
Remember that time where
it's like zombie?
where I did like that was one of my favorite pictures, like where I'm on the waterfall and I'm leaning like this over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very sweet picture.
It was a very sweet picture. Matt and waterfalls are not a good combination.
No,
I did it.
Matt just does everything he can to accidentally kill himself. I have to be like, Matt, get away from the edge, Matt.
If it looks like an accident, then insurance can't deny it.
It's like we had, and we'll get back to the Walking Dead, but it's like we had on that one hike, we had 2 points where I felt good because Matt had to be like, yeah, because I was one where he's getting closer and closer to the edge, and I'm like, Matt, you realize if you slip, which it's wet rocks, that you slip on wet rocks, and I'm like, if you slip, there is nothing for you to grab onto, and then that's like a 50, 60 foot drop straight to the bottom. And
he's like, yeah, that sounds like a good picture opportunity. Let's do it.
And then like later he's kind of looking, he's like, I think, yeah, it's a good idea. I didn't go to the edge. It really is nothing to grab onto. And then there was another way to get up the waterfall, but there was a trail to the left. And Matt's like, we can cut up to the right there. And it'll be much faster. And I said, Matt, that looks like a death trap. And he's like, I don't think it's that bad. And I'm like, I'm going left. You whatever. So we go left, get on the trail, get up there. And Matt's looking at it going, it's a good thing we didn't take that.
Yeah,
I'm like, look, I'm wrong 90% of everything I say in life. I'm wrong about this. So this day I got 2 in a row. I was proud of it.
That's crazy.
I'll take your advice when it comes to hiking.
I never took him out as the adventurous type. So
well, that's because I take him with me.
Well, he's out there being dangerous, and you're not, though.
Matt actually is. Matt is a brave soul. That's why when he talks about dying in the apocalypse, it's like, dude, I've seen him do some wild shit on trails. I mean, without any fear or sense of self-preservation.
He must have been around a lot of cat pee when he was a baby.
Matt, were you around a lot of cat pee? Did you get a brain parasite?
I may have.
Yeah, that might be it.
Speaking of brain parasites, back to the episode. So,
yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I'm the one that got us off track. You ain't got none to be sorry about.
How dare you?
But so we had Rick's conversation with Morgan, his one-sided conversation. So we think at this point. We had Andrea, and I love how Rick tried to like man up because he's like, they're talking about we need to do something. Rick's like, I'll go tell her how it is. And he walks up. She just instantly pulls the gun on him and is like, I know how the safety works. Rick's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, you really showed her, Rick. Let me tell you.
You got her.
Well, I guess they didn't know what she was doing either, but she did.
Well, and it's like back at this point, I like to see that evolution in the show, whereas down the road, the zombies, they're really not, that wouldn't be a big deal. But like at this moment where one zombie could be dangerous to a lot of people, how they're all on edge. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I totally get her point, and I can't imagine losing someone you love in that way. But at the same time, I totally get their point of like, this girl is a ticking time bomb. She's going to pop up at any second and start trying to eat people. And you got kids around. So, I mean, I totally get the concern, but
that girl's a time bomb.
I would have just had Dale up on his roof making Dale face with his sniper rifle, like with his hunting rifle with the scope on her, and been like, the second she starts going, bow, shoot her ass. What if she didn't die? She's like, oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
Shit.
Dang, that would suck.
Damn it, Dale. I know that y'all can't see it, but Matt's got a cat on camera. Is that the cat that shits in your floor?
Oh, the cat.
Oh yeah, this might be Miss Puker.
Oh, it's Puke. I thought it was poop.
No,
that's worse.
She's in my up in my space being nosy.
What's her name?
Aww.
This is Ellie.
Oh.
That's cat's name is Ellie.
You named your cat after my daughter, even though you had the cat before my daughter was born.
It's Ashley's cat.
Maybe you named your daughter after his cat.
I did. That was the subconscious reason that I wanted to name it.
She's just like my wife. Like she has to know everything, but doesn't want to be involved in the drama.
I thought you were going to say she's just like my wife. She shits in the floor.
She does that too.
Oh, Ashley, no.
Bad.
We talked about this.
She doesn't know how to use a litter box. Come on.
So then we had and then, even though I do think that Steven Yeun, who plays Glenn, is a really good actor, I've always, even from the first time I saw it, even though I know he was being passionate, and I don't know that it's necessarily his acting, but the way like he goes when they're burning the bodies, and
when he wants to bury them,
and he's like, we don't burn them. And he's like, what is he? He's like, we bury them. He's like, we don't burn them. We bury them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That part was really weird.
I just think, like, and as, again, like many actors in this show, as the show goes on, his acting gets just really, really good. But, like, that scene to me was kind of cringy. Like, I get it and I get what he's saying, but just the way the line delivery for me always kind of fell a little flat. It just kind of felt weird.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
it's amazing that, like, how are these people not delusional at this point? Because you've seen so much. Like, that's trauma. And you guys, like, never freaking eat. How are they not, like, how are they so not crazy?
Why do you think I want Justin to unload on me like 5 seconds after the apocalypse starts? I don't want to go through that shit.
Are we talking about with bullets?
Yes.
All right, just want to make sure we're on the same page.
He had to think about that.
It's like if you go, all right, Justin, unload on me. This could get really confusing. Wait, what are you doing? I'm sorry, I didn't understand the assignment.
No, it's got to be one way after the other.
Very wrong into this.
No, and that's something too that, like, I feel like these people, once you've been through something like this, you'll never really be able to integrate back into regular society. You know what I mean? Especially when you get years into the apocalypse and every day is like a fight for survival and you got the undead. I mean, I know you get more used to them, more efficient at taking them out, but I also feel like getting into a regular society is just something you're never going to do.
Also, like, what kind of future is there? What are you fighting for?
Survival. Well, and that's the thing, though.
But for why?
Well, what are we fighting for now?
Well, that's the thing, though. Most creatures including humans, we don't realize it because we're not put in that situation right now. But like your instincts are to survive. Everything and most people, except for Matt, most of our instincts.
Like the void calls me on the daily.
We get into that kind of situation, our instincts kick in, and it's all about surviving. It's just about, and it's one of those where it's like I would totally be on the same page as Rick. Like, when people say, oh, it's hopeless and there's no point, we're just going to die or this or that, I'd be like, well, then why not try to live as long as we can while we can? If we're going to die and it's inevitable, why not just try and hold on as long as we can? I mean, it's better than being dead.
I think if I was in that situation, since I do have kids, I would definitely fight for my kids. But if anything happened to them, I wouldn't anymore. I would just give up.
See, I wouldn't let you.
If I had a fun-sized man, I'd say, hey, good luck, buddy. Uncle Justin's gonna unload on me.
Peace out, cruel world.
For either way that sentence could be taken, I would still be like, cover your eyes.
Cover your eyes, kids.
I don't want you to
watch
see this.
Don't want Uncle Lloyd unload on your pappy.
But no, I mean, I would no, but you can't. If something happened to the people that you care about, you got to survive for them. And actually, again, this is none of these things I'm saying are big spoilers, but like Glenn has a really good speech down the road. I won't say when because I don't want you to know how long he survives or if he, doesn't survive, whatever. I want you to, but he has a really good speech down the road where he talks about like why you keep going, even if the people like, your parents or your kids or whoever have died. He has a really, really inspiring speech.
I forgot about that. He does have a good one.
Like it's real. Like that's probably one of my favorite pieces of dialogue from the shows, if not my absolute favorite. And he's just talking about, why you keep going because of those people and yada yada. But it's you got a little ways to get to that, but it is.
Well, I can't wait to hear him talking about it because he's like the man already,
Oh yeah, and Glenn just gets better and better as the show goes on. He just gets, he has some really, really good character progression. I mean, it's a very, like I've said before on this cast about Glenn, it's a very natural character progression because it doesn't, like Daryl, I know they tried to kind of drag it out to make it seem like it was taking him a while, but you already within like an episode or two start to see big differences in his character, whereas Glenn, it genuinely drags. It takes several seasons. Like he has to actually grow. People don't just change overnight. It's collective experiences that start changing the way that a person thinks and the way they react. So I think they did really, really good with Glenn's character progression. It might be the best on the show, to be honest with you, or the most realistic, at least in my experience with human beings. And what about Carol giving Ed the business post-mortem?
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I saw it coming. I called it before she even did it.
I mean, like,
but I'm proud of her, though.
She hacked his head to mush.
Yeah. That's what I said. I said, he ain't going to have no head left.
It's good.
And he didn't.
Carol got a taste.
It's good symbolism for her, leaving, like being done with him.
Yeah.
Like letting that part of her life go. And
see, the problem was she got a taste of blood.
That's true. Carol is savage. Classy, bougie, and ratchet all in the same.
That song does describe her very well.
Because I'm a savage. Oh, she! I swear she looks like as the seasons go on and her hair kind of grows out. I swear she reminds me of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, she does.
She reminds me of Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, which is I think a good thing. I think Carol JP just said that Carol was very unattractive, and I was like, I disagree. I think Carol is a very attractive lady. I think that the short hair does not work for her as far as my tastes. But with that said, I think she's a pretty lady. She's a damn good actress.
So
yeah.
She's got some very interesting character progression as the show moves forward as well. Jessi, let's do let's do some death predictions because it is a show about death. And who do you think? Do you think there's anyone who's? We already lost Jim. We already lost Amy. We already lost the copy of Morales. And then Morales and his family left. So we've already lost several people. Do you think anyone else is going to die before because episode 6, the next episode is the finale of season 1. Do you think anyone else is going to die?
No, I can't really see that happening to the people that are left. Or maybe I just don't want
the way we're progressing, everyone should be dead by at least 7 episodes from now.
No kidding. Well, she's going to be really shocked when Rick dies next episode.
And they all died. In the next 8 seasons were just zombies meandering about.
It's like the first scene of next episode is that door open and the guy steps out and shoots Rick in the head. It's like, why did not see that coming?
Oh, y'all are full of it.
Then she'd be like, I thought you said he becomes a badass. Like, what the shit?
I mean, if Shane died, I wouldn't care, but I'm assuming that he doesn't.
I like Shane, man. I'm telling you, Shane just got put in a crappy situation. And yes,
he's misunderstood.
He did not handle it the way that it should have been, but how it's like me and my dad were talking about back when we were watching this show, like every Sunday at my mom's house. I would go down every Sunday for many years and we would eat dinner and watch The Walking Dead. And it's like my dad said, we watch these characters and we either praise what they do or we, condone what they do and are like, that's that person's, and it's like but we really don't know how any of us would act because we've never been in that situation. Like we've never been in a situation where our life is on the line every day. Like every day is a fight for survival. I mean, it's just it is one of those, you never really know. You could think you'd be the good guy, or that you would want to be unloaded on the second it happened, or that you just couldn't carry on. But you never know. Like some people would surprise you at who would be strong, and then some that you think would be good would surprise you at how terrible of a person they would be.
Well,
did you say unload on somebody?
Yeah, he did. Okay, well, how about the black lady? Because I feel like she doesn't have a very strong part in the show right now.
No, all she did was rat out Jim. That's the biggest thing. The two biggest things she's done this point in the show is she told them how to, that there were underground sewer passages under buildings because she used to work for the zoning office back in episode 2. Right. And then in this episode, she's like, Jim got bit. A walker bit Jim.
He's bit. Well, what is her name?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I really.
I don't even think she has a name.
She does, but it's not. She wasn't a very memorable character, and it's not the actress's fault. She just didn't have many written lines. I mean,
Well, if anybody dies in the 6th episode, I think it would be her, just because we can afford to get rid of her, I guess.
Oh, we're gonna have to see if you're right. She's gonna be really sad when Carol dies.
What the heck, man? She just got rid of her husband.
Right, now she's gonna have to beat him.
Let her live a little.
Live without him.
She's gonna die and be like, "Damn it, Ed! I thought I got rid of you." But no, she just and I get why she ratted out Jim. I mean, I totally understand, but just the way it's like, Walker got Jim. He been bit. It's like, oh, come on, man. She's like, is that blood on you? I mean, well, we're in this. Look at Rick. Rick was wearing a white T-shirt 2 episodes ago, and now it's doo-doo brown and red.
Yeah,
there's a whole new shade of color.
That's fresh blood. And then on top of that, Jim should have definitely, if he was that aware of it and knew it was a big deal, you'd think he would have put like a paper towel or something on it.
Nah.
Walker got Jim.
Rub some dirt on it.
Where's he going to get a paper towel from?
I mean, Dale's got the RV. I'm sure he's got paper towels. I mean,
there's bound to be paper towels in there.
Who owns an RV without paper towel? What do you think they're wiping their butts with?
leaves and stuff. I mean, it's not like they can keep stocked up on that stuff.
I just don't feel like leaves would do a good job of cleaning your butt. And then what do you do in the fall? They all crumble.
Now, if you use brawny,
you just have crumbly leaves in your butt.
Time.
I just would have to like dip my butt in the water. Don't drink
That's
that water.
Wash your ass up.
What are those things called that clean your butt?
Bidets.
A bidet.
Bidets. Yeah, it's like a natural bidet.
Matt has a bidet.
I do. It's great.
He's got the cleanest butthole this side of our town.
I do.
And you would
Here,
know.
let me show you guys.
Oh, he's very proud of it.
Yeah, he unloaded on me.
It's his party. It's his party trick.
Well,
You guys
I
want to
can't
see a
see you right now,
clean
so
butthole?
thank goodness for that.
I'll snap it to you.
Jeez. Well, I need to come over there and try it out sometime because I've never used one and I've always wanted to.
You want? Yeah, if you want to test drive one, come on over.
When we remodel our bathroom here in the next month or so, our new toilet, we're gonna have a bidet.
I'm just gonna come poop at your house from now on.
You can.
If Eloise helps knows the importance of not to press the bidet button.
God, poor little thing, it'll like rocket her across the room.
Oh!
It's gonna traumatize her forever.
Or just be like, don't
That's
get.
how the zombie apocalypse started, with misuse of a bidet.
Think of all the ways you can scare children. Be like, now if you misbehave, the toilet fish is gonna squirt you with water.
You.
Or like when she does something wrong, go press the button and be like, Ellie, look, it's the toilet fish trying to get you.
Jeez, don't do that to her.
But I'm trying to think. I think we've covered most of this stuff in this episode. Daryl kind of, he has his moments where he seems, empathetic and like a decent person, but then he has his moments like with Jim where he's just like, y'all can sit here and talk all you want. I'm going to take care of the problem. And then Rick's once again pointing a gun at his head. We don't kill the living.
Daryl is just a country boy.
He is. He's just full of rage and wants to kill stuff.
What do y'all think about burning the bodies versus burying them? Do you agree with Glenn? Like you burn the walkers that come into your camp, but then you bury the people that were in your group?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Glenn.
Because it's like, if you want to be philosophical, it's like, well, even the walkers that stumble into your camp, they were once part of a group, probably, or once people.
Yeah.
They once had lives and feelings and were, human beings. It's not like if, marauders come into your camp and they're just evil people trying to take your shit, then you burn them because who the hell cares? They were crap, but,
burning them probably makes more sense, but.
Yeah,
I see where Glenn's coming from.
At this point, it's a new zombie apocalypse. You don't really know how the virus spreads. You don't know, anything about it. So, from a sanitary standpoint, it definitely seems like burning them would probably be the safest bet.
Yeah, I would think so.
And we didn't get to see much of old T-Dog this episode.
No, I guess you're right.
What was old Turtle Dog doing?
I don't know what Theodore Douglas was up to.
T is short for turtle.
How about when they got to the CDC?
Oh, man, yeah.
And
they started all just panicking.
Well, they also were banging on that big door and yelling at each other. Like, don't you know you need to be quiet?
Well,
they know that.
It worked, though. Rick got the door to open by yelling and being a maniac.
That's true. I guess you're right. Oh, it was really funny to me when they were walking away and he was like, the camera, it moved.
You're killing us. Yeah, what's interesting to note is that this whole little CDC thing is not in the comics. So when the comics follow the storyline pretty well. I mean, Daryl and T-Dog aren't in the comics, but it follows it pretty well in a lot of different ways, but the whole CDC thing is completely original to the show. So that's something that, comic readers, I remember when that happened and my dad saying something about, the comics. And I'm like, I don't think that was in the comics.
I think I would know, Dad.
All right, but let's rate this episode before we sign off and say goodbye. Everybody put your hands where we can't see them. Jessi, you're just going to have to tell us what your hand is, being that you are a voice and not a video. But, Matt, put your hand where I can't see it. Put your hand where I can't see it. Matt's wife is podcast bombing.
I actually brought her cantaloupe. Yeah, brought her cantaloupe sleeve.
You didn't tell me.
Was that a bra?
Yeah.
Was she showing off her new bra? She was so proud of it, too.
Apparently.
All right, hands under
the sling cantaloupes.
Under the table. And hold them up in 3, 2, 1. Wait, Jessi, we'll ask you what yours is. All right.
4.
I did 4 too. So Jessi and I both gave this episode a 4 out of 5. Matt, you gave it a 3 because you have said that it just wasn't your favorite. You weren't that.
It just didn't. Yeah, it just wasn't my favorite. I didn't care for it.
Well, we'll be doing episode 6 here soon. I'm trying to keep these coming out at a pretty steady pace, at least a couple a week. So we'll get on episode 6 here soon. And Matt and I are going to, in the next day or two, do a podcast about this whole spinoff show that they've just announced.
It was my idea, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Matt's fault.
I was just being facetious.
But in the meantime, thank you so much. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. Every dollar helps us. We got to buy Jessi a USB mic for home broadcast. So, let's up those Patreon dollars so we can get her one. But in the meantime,
look, man, everything's going up. Gas is going up. Patreon costs are going up.
Mics are going up. It's a tough time. I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
Hey, dudes.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Later.